English brothers Francis and Ferdinand Cook initially established their armory in New Orleans, where they constructed many quality rifles for the Confederacy. Ian McCollum runs a YouTube channel that showcases historic guns. In this video, he is revealing the cavalry carbinas that had plain fixed notches, unlike adjustable notches on rifles during the Civil War era. If you were to shoot this gun from a horse, there is pretty much no chance of making a precise long-distance shot. This gun is shown to be from 1863 in Athens, Georgia. This was some of the beginning production at the Crook Mill factory. It's important to point out that this weapon has a serial number 2365, meaning it's one of the first productions the weaponry actually got going once they were set up and manufacturing new parts in Athens. As reliable manufacturers of quality firearms were rare in the South, when New Orleans fell to the Union, the brothers were given authorization to commandeer a vessel to relocate their foundry. With the Union forces tightening their grip on the city, the Cook brothers forged a second authorization, seizing another vessel to move their foundry, and relocated almost all of their equipment to Athens, Georgia. While a welcome addition to the city's industry, this move would put Athens on the map as a target. As Union forces entered Georgia in the summer of 1864, Sherman knew Atlanta would be a difficult objective to capture. He attempted to force an evacuation of the city by using cavalry raids to circle and cut off any access to critical supplies. Sherman dispatched Major General Stoneman with a force of 6,500 cavalry troopers to the east, and Brigadier General McCook west with a force of 3,500 sabres on a mission to link up and cut off the last railroad south into Atlanta. They also had a secondary objective of freeing prisoners at Macon and Andersonville. However, Stoneman chose to ignore his primary objective in favor of rescuing the 30,000 Union prisoners. This error in judgment allowed a Confederate cavalry force, led by Major General Wheeler, to attack the Union cavalry units, defeating them in turn. McCook was defeated just outside of Noonan, but was able to regroup and return to Union lines. Stoneman fought a delaying action at Macon and surrendered, which allowed 2 brigades of cavalry led by Lieutenant Colonel Adams and Colonel Capron to flee. Having failed to accomplish their objectives, the cavalry commanders attempted to raid a target of opportunity, Athens, Georgia. Located at the end of a railroad spur with many factories present, Athens was vital to the Confederacy's ability to fight. As Lieutenant Colonel Adams approached the Middle Oconee Bridge with his cavalry, he was greeted with cannon fire from the home guard. Ornery, cantankerous, almost as likely to oppose Confederate officials giving them orders with the same fervors as a Union army of invaders. The Athens Home Guard, who called themselves Mitchell's Thunderbolts, composed themselves of men who, for various reasons, were either rejected or ineligible for military service. And while they were far from being keen on being told what to do, they were unified in their desire to protect their homes. The infantry component of Mitchell's Thunderbolts had dug in on a hill and stood ready to repulse the Union soldiers. While the Home Guard had very little actual battle strength, this little show of strength combined with past defeats pushed Adams to the breaking point. He withdrew his forces and headed north, successfully reaching Marietta and Union lines. Colonel Capron attempted to follow, but took a different road, ending up in Winder. He ordered his troops to rest, but they were soon ambushed by a cavalry detachment commanded by Colonel Breckinridge. Capron and a handful of others escaped, but the bulk of his command, 430 men, were captured and marched to Andersonville. There is not much historical evidence of this short battle left in Athens today, but there are historical markers representing the Cook and Brother Armory building. It is now a part of UGA's campus and serves a historical purpose by showcasing the bustling industry that put Athens on the map. The armory helped provide efforts to the war, armed the Mitchell's Thunderbolts who protected the well-being of the city and essentially built Athens into a bustling industrial town. Elder Mill Covered Bridge is also still a standing representation of antebellum history in Athens. Today, it is more so celebrated for being listed on the National Register of Historic Places for being the only covered bridge along the Georgia Antebellum Trail. This bridge was once used by soldiers, merchants, and cavalry to travel over Crane Creek from Atlanta to the Winder, Athens area during the Confederate War and antebellum period. It has since been relocated over Rose Creek in Winder, Georgia, and now serves as a one-way bridge used for civilian travel. Before the Civil War, Athens, Georgia was known as being a small but up-and-coming town with several cotton mills. It is somewhat unspoken, but the booming industry the Cook and Brother Armory brought to Athens, as well as the character and strength the Mitchell Thunderbolts showcased, essentially sculpted the town into being the lively place it is today.